Good everyone, welcome to this video. Today it's another battle I had in the H39 Cambronne. Obviously this has come after the review. Um, well, in this battle you may know, well in fact in the hangar you may notice this thing doesn't look, well, how it should. Obviously I mentioned that in the review. Yeah, you won't see it like this in that battle, unfortunately. But if you haven't seen the review for this tank, I'll leave a link in the description below. You guys know the drill. This tank's actually pretty good in the right hands, I will admit, but it does require a good driver to do well. And this battle is certainly an attest to that, as well as a bit of luck. Now, Dark Angel, when I sent him the screenshot to say that I actually had a very good game, he thought I was calling bullshit. And that's because of the tank. He does not like the French rank 1 tanks. To be honest, not many do, but don't worry, mate. I've got this to drive soon enough. Trust me. But the H39 itself was just basically an upgunned H35, and well, nothing much really changed. Obviously, a bit of extra armor thickness with the welding, etc., etc. Nothing much has really changed. But this battle really proved that angling your armor to your right hand side, so that means like this, really helps. Trust me, it helps, and you're going to see that. So let's jump right in. I do need to find it first. Well, Dark Angel, prepare to eat your words about saying I was chatting bullshit. That is all I'm going to say. Now, I named a replay there, evacuation routes are vital. You're going to see that because at one point I am actually overrun, and I will point that out obviously when we get to it. But trust me, this was a good game. It really was. The funny thing is, I was actually driving this tank, and I called a team useless, and someone actually saw me in a subscriber replay that I sent off. I don't know what this guy's problem was. He just started shooting at me. No idea why. Just some bloody retard in like a level, I think it was like level 10. Well, no, it's level 54. Whatever. Players like that just need to grow up. I mean, I didn't see the point. Thing is though, I have to drive that tank soon, the AMC 34YR for the Talisman series. Obviously, we've still got a long way to go with that, so because the way I'm doing it is I'm doing America first, well, American planes first, then go to Germany and etc. Then I'm going to do the tanks, and then we'll do France last because it's going to be the torturous, or the most torture. So I'm just going to skip to where the battle actually gets moving because I am climbing a hill at, well, 8 miles an hour. It's not exactly very fast. And I decided to sit here for a bit, thinking there might be something charging the A point. I can maybe get shots on it. The only thing that is coming up to back me up at the moment are two Somua S35s. They've just driven off to my right, and there's one of them. These two actually do pretty well, but because of my tank's lackluster penetration, I'm unable to save them. Well, if the penetration on this gun is good enough, but it's not the world's greatest. There's a Panzer 38T. That one's absorbed by the bloody radio, I swear. What did they make the radios out of on those Czech tanks? It's a freaking Skoda, man. That's what it is. Those Panzer 38 and 35Ts are Skodas. As in like the Skoda Octavia and things like that. Or the Skoda Superb, which my dad actually considered for a car. But obviously now we have a Vauxhall Zafira. But so I'm moving up with these two S35s. Obviously they have much better guns than me. But at this point A starts getting capped, so I'm thinking, okay, I'll make my way down there. I'm faster than the S35. Let's see if I can get down there and clean up the enemy tanks that are down there. One thing I forgot to mention in the review for this tank is it does have 13 degrees of gun depression and it's bloody useful. And well, we've got some air support coming in the form of a BB-1, but its accuracy is more than to be desired. And well, the 13 degrees of gun depression is good, but it's not quite amazing. I disable the engine on the Panzer 3B and I start moving into the A point. Put one right through there. I have no idea how I was allowed to survive that shot, but hey ho. There's my second assist. I take a hit to the rear, it was that Igo Co, he's actually firing heat. And there's also a Panzerjäger up there. So in a way I'm caught in a crossfire, because obviously there's enemies shooting from the B point. I take out the Japanese Igo Co, or as I used to call it, the Igo Hangar, because that thing is terrible. But nowadays it's not so bad, because it does have heat rounds. Thankfully I don't have a what's it called, a talisman on it. And I don't plan on driving it anytime soon. Now with a powder weight ratio of just under 10, this tank isn't the most fast or it's not the best to get up hills. Panzer 35T, glorified Skoda. I decide I'll grab the engine first, disable it from moving, and just pump some shots into the turret. Obviously I'm waiting for the gunner to get back in the turret. And there we go, second kill. Obviously I've capped the A point as well, forgot to mention that. But this hill is a nice little spot where I can get the H39 in. Obviously you have to get up at the right angle, otherwise the tank will not make it up there. There is a Panzer II Duck. I put one in the back of the turret. I start taking hits from Yukaz Wads, how do you say that name? I take out his driver. For some reason he decides shooting at nothing is a good idea. It isn't. Third kill. Don't understand some of these legit players. I mean, you'd have thought shooting at a hill would not exactly benefit your situation, but hey ho. More food for my H39. And there's a 47-32 L40, and I was thinking, and then I was thinking, right, I'm going to turn around and shoot him, that's no problem. Then the BA-65 just decided to do a flyby. I let rip the machine gun, that's my fourth kill for the game on that that 47. And here comes a Hargo, and at first I thought it was an Igo Hangar. The heat rounds on the Igo Hangar can easily deal with your tank. And for some strange reason, this Panzer IIIe is, well, you set side on to a French tank. I mean, I know you have faith in your armor, pal, but that's my fourth assist for the game. I got a lot of assists this game, which I noticed. There's the Kenny tank bullying the S35. Now I have no idea how that did not kill his driver, but Gaijin logic. No idea how that didn't kill the gunner on that thing, but Gaijin logic and job done. Fifth kill, there's your ace. Already, Dark Angel is probably watching, well, he's going to be watching this video and be turning into the realms of bullshit. Well, I got 7 in the review of this thing. Let's see how high we can go. And coming up in a few moments is when the evacuation routes are vital that I put in the, well, the name of the replay, is where it's going to come in handy. There you can hear a Stuka if you listen very carefully. Put a shot towards the Panzerjäger. I start obviously letting them down here. I take him out. 6th kill. The Panzer II starts backing up. Non-penetration on the side, which to be fair, it's quite a steep angle. And we're now getting into the realms of, oh crap, we're going to be overrun. Because there's actually quite a few enemy tanks pushing down this area. Now I decided to go for a bit of a smart move here. I decided to disable Bobby 59617 in that M1441. I knew I could get through the lower glacis, and I thought if I take his tank out of action temporarily, that way I don't have to worry about him for a little bit. This turned out to be a smart move. Now, I don't know how this Igo Hangar saw me in this position, but I'm not too fussed. His shots were terrible on target. You can see here, his turret's turning, he stops, and he immediately starts moving to back up and get shots at me. I was a bit weird at first. A bit suspicious, but yeah, whatever. He didn't do anything. He didn't kill me, that's all that matters. But now it's just a waiting game. Obviously you can see him firing there, and I was like, how does he know I'm here? I'm behind this rock. I moved forward in case he gets a lucky hit on the command controller, but I was a bit confused by his antics. I was confused, like, how does he know I'm here? How does he know that exact range to target? I don't know, people. Yes, as you can see, we are getting into the realms of, oh crap, we're being overrun. I take out all the turret crew in that thing. Here comes the M1441. Obviously, he has now seen me and I'm thinking, fuck this, I'm going to drive off the edge. And it actually benefits me pretty well. I drive down into this small area, which I didn't even think you could get to. And for some reason, the Panzer II decides, I'm going to give you my arse. That was a bad decision, buddy, because now I can just keep you pinned there. And well, after a couple of applications of burning arse, he is going to die. And there we go. Shrapnel takes out the commander of that tank. And that is another kill. But because of your gun depression, you can sit in this position pretty damn well. Now, I don't know how that managed to headshot the driver, yet the driver's head was not even visible there. But hey, again, Gaijin logic. At this point, I was hanging dangerously off the edge. Obviously, this is a 12-ton tank, or 12.1-ton tank. And I am barely hanging on with my tracks. Soon enough, I eventually decided to drive down, but this is just one of those spots where it was unexpected and somehow it's working. Obviously, you can back up, but then you have to position yourself on the edge again to fire. Which I thought is, well, it's a trade-off, but at the same time, if no one knows you're here, this is a pretty good sniping spot. And, well, if you need to hide, then it's even better. Now, for some reason, there was a teammate on my team who's moaning about spawn camper. Well, I'm not being funny, right, mate? There's more than one spawn. You don't have to keep spawning. And yes, I did just jump down that in a 12.1-ton tank and get away with it without any damage. I was expecting it to at least blow a track off, and to be honest, I wouldn't have minded it blowing a track off. Now, obviously, I knew there were enemy tanks coming to the B point already, and I decided to move up and defend, which is what you'll call common sense. But since this tank takes the piss to get maneuvering, oh yes, I forgot to mention this guy. This poor sod thought he could take a shortcut, and well, shortcuts are just a no-no, mate. I don't know why you'd even try that. Knife kill. But as I was saying before, I had to quickly pause it because I forgot about that guy. This tank does take a while to get maneuvering, but we're approaching the B point now, and obviously I'm driving up the hill, just casually being a French tank. Obviously I should have been doing this in reverse, mind you, but hey ho. And here comes Didet in a Panzer II-C. Now, strangely enough, he doesn't appear to have noticed me at first. But then he does, and I'm just like, okay. That shot should have killed his gunner. Now I'm angled wrong here. I should be angling to my left-hand side. Or sorry, my right-hand side. But unfortunately, I'm not. But either way, he screwed up his shots. I didn't. There's your 10th kill. That's your double ace. Already Dark Angel's probably screaming at the screen saying, Bosh, how did you do that? Trust me, it takes a lot of skill driving and not crapping yourself. Now, Bobby 59617 is actually in that tank, and I didn't know at the time. Clearly he was a bit pissed off that I drove off the edge and managed to get away from him. It's quite clear to me he's using stock ammo. I have no idea why that didn't do more damage, but I have a faster reload than you, buddy. 11th kill. And here comes Yukaz Von Woods, but single shot, 12th kill, but we are going to lose this game, unfortunately. And I just decide, right, well, I'm not losing my tank for these Muppets. I'll just drive out. Get behind some cover. I spot the S81 and I do take a pot shot at him, just randomly. It doesn't hit, but that sadly is the end of the game. 12 kills, 1 cap, and 5 assists, and yet we still fucking lost. Oh dear. But Dark Angel, just because you're bad in the French tank, mate, don't mean it can't be done. He'll hate me for that one, but I hope you enjoyed today's video on the H39 Cambronne. Once again, obviously, this is the only bit of footage extra that I got from driving this tank. The rest were just mediocre games. But these tanks are, well, this tank is actually pretty good. As I mentioned, angle to your right hand side. And this thing's actually pretty tough to take out. Anyway, I'll let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's video on the H39 Cambronne, and I will catch you all on the next one.